Whether you're doing SEO for your own brand or someone else's company, you need to understand the nuances of the industry that you're in and what you're trying to optimize for. Otherwise, you'll probably end up implementing the wrong types of SEO strategies. So I'm going to break down exactly how your SEO strategy should look based on whether the site is in the e-commerce, local, niche, or SaaS industry. Now, most things in SEO are true across all niches. In order to drive organic traffic and make money in Google search, you need to write valuable content, build internal links, build backlinks, create a solid site structure, and address any technical issues or limitations with your site. All of those things are true for most major niches, right? E-com, local, niche or media, and SaaS. However, there are nuances to every element of them as they pertain to your niche and your company. For example, you may build hundreds, even thousands of citations to your local business to establish name, address, phone number across Google. It is unlikely you'd build any of these, or at least as many of these, for an e-com or SaaS company. Why not? Because NAP citations are primarily only relevant to local businesses. Now, this is just one example, but I want to explain the differences between the SEO principles of these industries and why, if you're looking to improve your e-commerce SEO skills, you need to learn from someone who specializes in e-commerce SEO. That's me. I've only done e-commerce SEO for the last 3 years, and it is hands down my favorite. It's not even close. But before that, I worked in local, personal brand, and SaaS. And I've dabbled in others as well, which I'll cover. I'm going to explain the main differences between each of them and the main things that you need to do to be successful in each. So let's start with my favorite, e-com SEO. What makes it so special? The function of any SEO campaign is to make money for your business. That should seem obvious. However, many people incorrectly assume that more organic traffic directly correlates to more money. This is especially untrue in e-commerce. E-commerce brands don't need more traffic. They need stronger margins and more cash flow to grow their business. More organic traffic could just mean that their blogs drive a ton of traffic. But if those blogs don't convert any of that traffic or help the product and collection pages rank higher, all of that traffic is for nothing. It's a vanity metric. The only way to measure the success of an e-commerce SEO campaign is by the increase in organic search revenue. An increase in blog traffic could help you make more money if you use Google remarketing ads and or collect emails with a sign-up form on the blog. But in fact, usually a pretty major disconnect between these data segments. Organic search revenue is the only directly attributable metric that correlates to an effective e-com campaign. So if you're doing e-com, these are the most important things to focus on. Choose a fast and reliable CMS. I recommend Shopify. It's all we work with and the brands we work with. Build a simple and easy to understand site structure. Audit and correct any technical issues like broken links, indexing, and page speed. Identify bottom of funnel keywords for your product and collection pages, then optimize those pages for each keyword. Research middle and top of funnel keywords that are topically related to your products and collections, then obviously write content to target those keywords. Build internal links from blog posts to the products and collection pages, as well as between similar blog posts. Lastly, build high quality links to your home, collection, and blog pages, but not to your product pages. Google will ignore these. If you do these 7 things well, I guarantee you that you will beat 99% of your e-com competitors. On to local SEO. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to classify all local businesses, whether they're brick and mortar or local service, into the same category. Let's say you're in real estate, or you're a lawyer, or you're a dentist, HVAC, plumbing, landscaping, rank and rent, and any other home service. We're all putting this in one category. My first job in SEO was working with HVAC, plumbing, electric, and other home service companies. Then I freelanced for dentists and lawyers, even had a rank and rent site for a bit. The major difference between local and any other type of SEO is that local businesses don't need to rank number 1 for an entire country or even state, just the local area that they serve. Example here, the top 10 search results will be completely different if you search for plumbers in New York City versus someone searching for them in Los Angeles, where I live. Even more specific, the results will be different for someone searching for plumbers in Manhattan and Brooklyn, 2 neighborhoods which also exist in New York City. And even more specific, depending on where 2 people are standing within just Manhattan, Google's results will be different even if both people are searching for plumbers. Why? Over 50% of all searches that occur on Google have local intent. Google has to get this right because their customer base and company revenue quite literally depends on it. Given the specificity and geographic data required to track the performance of a local SEO campaign, local campaigns are tracked differently than other SEO campaigns like e-commerce and SaaS. Rather than tracking by entire countries or even states, local SEOs track their rankings in a far more specified manner. But unlike e-commerce, most local businesses don't track the success of a campaign by organic search revenue. Instead, they track the number of leads they get via phone calls, form submissions, things like that. So, if you're doing local SEO, these are the most important things to do. Choose a fast and reliable CMS. I'd recommend WordPress. Build a simple and easy to understand site structure. Audit and correct any technical issues like broken links, indexing, and page speed. Create pages for every single service that you offer in every single service area that you offer it. Example, you offer a service in 3 towns. Create 3 pages that are optimized for service plus that town name. Add links to all of them in the footer menu, right? So back to the New York one, you're a plumber in Manhattan. You're also a plumber in the Bronx. You're also a plumber on the Upper East Side. there should be a page for every single one of those keywords. Next, research middle and top of funnel keywords that are topically related to these services, then write content to target those keywords. Again, build internal links from the blog post to those service pages and between similar blog posts. I would recommend starting with at least 200 to 300 local citations when you start, like when you first build your website, to establish your NAP. This is essentially your name, address, and phone number. You want it to be consistent across the entire internet. As you grow, you could start adding 200 to 300 more every few months just to keep stacking those up. Lastly, build high quality backlinks to your home, blogs, and service pages. Honestly, NAP, having your service pages, having your local citations, and having a number of backlinks is going to be enough. But if you do the other things right, there's probably a 1% chance that you'll get beaten out. On to niche and media sites. Up until the fall of 2023, as everyone's calling it, following a vicious round of Google updates, everyone was calling these niche sites. But now they've rebranded to media companies. They're the same thing. For the sake of argument, we're going to pack all travel, cooking or recipe, hobby, and similar niche blogs into the same category. The primary way that these sites make money, at least early on, is with display ads. Google pays them a set amount of money each month based on the number of visitors that it attracts to its website. The primary driver is SEO in most cases, though many of these site owners also use social media platforms to drive traffic as well, mainly Pinterest. These sites obviously make more money as they drive more visitors. There's a direct correlation between that. This is unlike e-commerce or even local SEO, where you need to actually make sales or get more leads in order to make money. You just need more traffic on these sites, at least early on. They usually evolve into affiliate sites once they reach a certain stage of growth and credibility. If you're building a site like this, the most important things you need to do are pick a niche that you're passionate about and ideally not too competitive. Choose a fast and reliable CMS. I again recommend WordPress. Build a simple and easy to understand site structure, and this will vary based on your site's topic, so keep that in mind. Audit and correct any technical issues. Identify the most important keywords and pages that need to exist in your niche, then build from there. Research middle and top of funnel keywords that are closely related to the main pages, then again write content to target those keywords. Build internal links from blog posts to main pages and between similar blog posts. Build high quality backlinks to your home, blogs, and service pages. And once you reach a certain number of visitors, apply for a program like Ezoic or Mediavine to monetize your traffic. And as you even the next step, reach out to businesses in your niche and ask to become an affiliate or apply to affiliate programs so that you can scale your cash flow. Next up, SaaS, software as a service. SaaS products have ridiculously long sales cycles because of their B2B nature. Businesses are reluctant to try new softwares because of high pricing, annual subscriptions, and usually steep learning curves, right? It's hard to train an entire team on a new platform. As such, the customer funnel has far more keywords to target than an e-com or local campaign in most cases. Because of this, SaaS strategies are much more focused on content marketing, free trial signups, and content engagement rates rather than direct conversions like sales or leads. We haven't talked a lot about UX yet, but SaaS UX is, I would say, more critical than other industries. Your website's appearance is the first impression of product that users may buy. Of course, they want it to look good. Users are less concerned with how good a plumbing site looks, for example, because they just want, their sink fixed. But I guarantee you they care about your SaaS site. The other place where UX is important is obviously in e-commerce, especially if you're selling a physical good. If you run a SaaS site, the most important things to do: fast and reliable CMS. I'd probably recommend WordPress or Magento. Build a simple to easy to understand site structure. Audit and correct any technical issues, broken links, indexing, page speed, things like that. Create a bottom of funnel conversion page for your main product, like email marketing software or accounting tool for local businesses. The more specific, the better, right? It'll be less competitive the more specific you get. Research middle and top of funnel keywords that are topically related to your service, then write content to target those keywords. Again, SaaS cycles are super long. People are going to have lots of questions. You need to address those. Content that works extremely well in SaaS is versus content or best content. So let's take the email marketing software, for example. Let's say you have a tool and you have 10 competitors. You could quite literally create 10 articles and it's your tool versus their tool, and then you could create a best of list. You've got 11 pieces of content showing customers how much your SaaS is better than your competitor's SaaS. Those are content ideas that really work effectively in SaaS. Again, build internal links from the blog post to those conversion pages and between similar blog posts. Lastly, as always, build high quality backlinks to your home, blogs, and conversion pages. If you want to learn more about SEO, check out this full guide I made to ranking first on Google. If you want to have a quick chat with me to discuss about SEO for your Shopify brand, book a call. Link in description. Peace.